Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Today we're headed up to northwest Indiana to the beautiful and charming city of Valparaiso. The area that would become Valparaiso was initially settled in the 1830s by European immigrants, most of them from New England. The city's name is said to have been inspired by Valparaiso, Chile, although the exact origin is still debated. Our tour begins in the historic Valparaiso Courthouse Square, often simply referred to as the Square. It's the central hub of Valparaiso. Actually, it's the geographical center of the city as well, and the heart of the city. At the center of Courthouse Square is the Porter County Courthouse itself. This building has a really rich history that dates back to the late 19th century. The Porter County Courthouse was constructed in 1886 during a time when many American courthouses were built with grand and imposing designs. This courthouse was designed by the architectural firm of Thomas J. Tolan & Son and was built at a cost of about $100,000. This courthouse is a great example of a neoclassical architecturally designed building, which includes these impressive columns, a very symmetrical design, and some highly detailed ornamentation on the building. The courthouse is known for its distinctive bell tower, which has become a symbol of Valparaiso in Porter County. The bell in the tower has been used to mark significant events and occasions in the county's history. Valparaiso was chosen as the county seat of Porter County in 1836, which spurred its earliest growth here in the city itself. The presence of the county courthouse and government offices helped establish Valparaiso as an administrative and economic hub in the region. The First National Bank building was constructed in 1902. Banks as well as government offices use classical architecture forms to imply wisdom and convey a sense of security. The old Porter County Jail was constructed in 1860 and officially opened in 1861. This is a great example of an Italian architectural design building that was popular during that time period. As its name suggests, the building served as both the county jail and the residence of the sheriff and their family. It was a functioning jail for nearly a century, housing prisoners and providing living quarters for the sheriff and their family. The building has since been remodeled and is now part of the local history museum. The next building on our tour is the GAR Memorial Hall, or simply known as Memorial Hall or Memorial Opera Hall. This building was constructed as the Grand Army of the Republic Memorial Hall in 1918 and was dedicated on July 4th of that year. It was constructed by the local chapter of the Grand Army of the Republic, hence GAR, which was a fraternal organization composed of Union veterans of the Civil War. The hall was erected as a tribute to their comrades who had fought in the war. This building is designed in the classical revival architecture style, which was very popular in the early 20th century. While the hall was initially built to serve as a meeting place for the local GAR post, it's also served as a community center. Over the years, it hosted various events, meetings, and gatherings. Valparaiso has a long history of valuing education and culture. In 1859, what would later become Valparaiso University was founded. The university has played a significant role in the city's development and continues to be a vital part of the community. Make sure to take a look on my channel for a walking tour of Valparaiso University. The arrival of railroads in the late 19th century spurred industrial and economic development in Valparaiso. It became a center for manufacturing and trade, further solidifying its position in the region. During the early 20th century, Valparaiso continued to grow and modernize. It experienced suburban expansion, where many of the people moved out into the outlying areas of Valparaiso. It also developed more infrastructure, and the economy became much more diverse. Another historic bank building here on Valparaiso's Courthouse Square is the Farmers State Bank building that was constructed in 1927. As we walk along here along Lincoln Way Highway and Courthouse Square, we see several business block buildings. The character of Courthouse Square is defined primarily by these buildings that surround it. The unbroken wall of business buildings on Lincoln Way is especially effective in that regard. Most of these buildings were constructed in the 1850s and 1860s as business blocks. That is, as buildings for shops on the ground floor and offices and assembly rooms above on the second and third floor. The Valparaiso Women's Association is an organization dedicated to promoting the welfare and interest of women in Valparaiso, Indiana, and the surrounding area. Women's associations like this have historically been formed to address various social, cultural, and philanthropic needs within the communities. These associations often aim to empower women, promote education, and engage in charitable work. Many of the things that the organizations do include fundraising for local charities, supporting educational activities, advocating for women's rights and issues, and organizing social and cultural events. The Grand Opera House, or the original Oddfellows building, was constructed in 1875. The Oddfellows building, also known as the Independent Order of Oddfellows building, was constructed to serve as a meeting place for the local chapter of the Independent Order of Oddfellows, which is a fraternal organization with a history of charitable and community work. Next up on our tour is the U.S. Post Office building, which is now City Hall for Valparaiso. This building was constructed in the early 20th century, around 1933, during the Great Depression. It was built as a federal government facility to house the local post office. It was likely part of a New Deal initiative that allowed workers to come in and construct buildings that provided public works projects, as well as pay to various workers around the area to construct buildings during that time to help boost the economy. Coming up here, we're going to see a statue of one of the most famous residents of Valparaiso, and that is Orville Redenbacher. Redenbacher was born on July 16, 1907 in Brazil, Indiana, and he grew up on a farm and developed an interest in agriculture. Orville Redenbacher had a fascination with popcorn as a young age, He was determined to grow the best and most delicious popcorn kernels. Along with partner Charles Bowman, Redenbacher developed and introduced a new hybrid popcorn variety known as Red Bow. This variety was known for its ability to pop into large, fluffy, and tender kernels. Orville Redenbacher became the face of his brand, appearing in television commercials and advertisements in the 1970s and 1980s. His distinctive appearance with his white hair and bow tie made him an easily recognizable figure. Redenbacher passed away in 1995, but his name and legacy continue to be associated with quality popcorn products. I hope you've enjoyed this Wandering Walks of Wonder tour in downtown Valparaiso, Indiana. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Take care now. Bye-bye.